Have you ever been overwhelmed by all the different smiley face bags of citrus you see in your produce department? Today, I'm going to give you a few tips to help sort through those and decide what is the best citrus that you should be buying.
You're listening to Eat, Shop, Waste Not. Let us teach you how to source the most delicious groceries without wasting food or a single penny. Here's your host, Eric Samuelson.
Before we begin today's episode, I want to take a moment to share about my favorite spice company, Burlap and Barrel Single Origin Spices. You'll truly eat like no one else when you use their spices in your cooking. My sister-in-law was visiting us back in October. We made this French onion butter bean soup, which was so delicious, so decadent. But when she got back home and tried to make that same soup herself, it wasn't quite as good. She couldn't put her finger on it at first. But then I hit her that we had used this dried thyme I got from Burl Up and Barrel that we had, but she didn't have. So it just shows how much flavor you can get from a truly good quality spice company. Right now, if you order from their website and use my promo code, Eat Like No One, you'll get a free Robusta black peppercorn grinder when you add it to your cart with any additional $15 purchase. Now let's roll with today's episode. Whenever you are in a produce department, in pretty much every single grocery store in this country, especially during citrus season, you're going to see smiles. You're going to see all these smiley face citrus. That has become the thing for the seedless, easy to peel mandarins. All the different types are all smiley faces in some way, usually using the color blue as well. It's like become the thing. So you see blue and smiley. Everyone's doing that here. So you see your cuties and halos and peels and dimples, all these different smiley face packaging here. That's just the way it has become the trend for that. So, though, I prefer to buy the ones that don't have the smiles on them. You see, one of the things that people may get confused with here is that, this is all trademark packaging. This is all everyone showing off what their ones are to get the attention. It's probably really started with the cuties. That was the first one to start doing that kind of thing. And then now there's so many different ones now and they've all kind of followed similar packaging. But with these types of mandarins, you don't necessarily know what variety you're getting. So I'm recording this in April, and none of those are going to be clementines. So even though that sometimes grocery stores will list them all as clementines, that is simply not the case. There are several different varieties that appear in those packages of citrus throughout the entire citrus season. They go through different varieties that are available at different times. Clementines are the earliest one that we see. Those are usually the ones you see in those kind of packaging first. Another type called Murcot is one that's also very common that comes after that and is one of the more predominant ones, I think. But you don't really know what type you're getting here, so that can it affect the quality because there's different ones you may not like as much. They're not going to be all the same. You're going to have some favorites. You're going to have some that you don't like as much here. So that can be the trouble with buying those things is that you just don't know all the time. Rarely do you ever see any information about what actual variety it is. So the consistency can be different because you don't know what you're getting. I prefer to, when I buy seedless, easy to peel mandarins, I try to get ones that have a varietal name on them. Names like Satsuma or Gold Nugget or Ojai Pixie. Those are the ones that I like to buy. As often they are better. They're going by more promoting the actual variety name. And I know I like those particular varieties. So those are the ones I shop for in the store. If I see those names, I'm going to buy those over all the smiley face type citrus that's going on. Now I'm also starting to see that trend too with the kind of again the blue theme, the kind of smiley face thing with some different trademark versions of what has become popularly known in the US as sumo citrus, which is really the Daikopan Mandarin variety from Japan. That's the original name for it. So these are the really large mandarins that are like the size of a navel orange or easy to peel. They have really fantastic flavor. They're really rich and they're never messy. And they're like, they're extremely good. Absolutely love them. So with the Daikopan, Sumo Citrus became the first trademark name in the United States because the company that produces them were the first ones to get it over to the US and grow it here. And they got a head start on the marketplace. So that's kind of become right now the almost the Kleenex version. It's how we call all tissues to wipe your nose with Kleenex when that's just a brand name. So we're kind of Sumo Citrus has become the brand name for Daikopan in the US, but now there's some other ones that are coming out that also from other companies that have kind of caught up and eventually realized that you could grow them in California. So we're seeing a lot of them in the US now with names like I've heard Mighty Mandarins and Big Honeys. So a couple other kind of smiley face type situations again, kind of going on that same theme again for some reason. Not sure where the whole smiley blue thing just became, why that has become the dominant thing. Besides maybe just again, like I said, cuties were kind of the first ones out there marketing like that, and everyone's kind of just decided to just copy that um, thing. So that's the it kind of I think sometimes it kind of confuses people a little bit, with all the different trademark names. It can be kind of like confusing to what's. That's why I just to make things easier, I try to just shop again by the variety name. I mean, also you won't find Dacopan per se listed by itself. I did see the farmers markets now in California. There was someone that was growing that here because they don't have the trademark rights to use those other names. But it can be kind of confusing sometimes. So if you ever get confused, just smile back at the citrus and go ahead and try to find those specific varieties instead.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. To get the show notes from this episode, visit our blog at eatlikenoone.com and click on Podcast in the main menu. Or click the link provided on whatever platform you're listening on. Make sure to hit subscribe and join us next time for more Eat, Shop, Waste Not.